What's going on? So today we're going to be talking about the FIFINE SC8 brand new mixer. It just came out not too long ago it's on Amazon, of course. They did send this to me, but they're not seeing this before you guys, and I'm going to give it an honest opinion. What we're going to do is actually go over the overhead camera here in a second, and I'm going to do a live test on everything. We're going to be using the Tank 1 from FIFINE itself as well to go with this. I got a little bit of scared a little bit. This is only supposed to be at 50 decibels, and I don't know if this is going to push this enough. So we're going to see. I wanted to use something like this because, I mean, this would be a pretty good combo to set something like this up with this. Pretty good mic. Got a video on it. I'll post it at the end of the video if you want to check it out. But let's go into overhead and show you everything. And I'm also going to do a quick Xbox test with it as well near the end of the video, and I'll just let you know if it works or not and if there's any kind of different things you need to set up or anything like that. Let's get it. Okay, before we get into the actual what it sounds like and everything, we're gonna do a quick unboxing of it so you can see everything here overhead style. You're gonna open it, get you a nice little instruction manual. It's gonna have some stuff in it. Again, this is it's 50 decibel mixer itself. There are other things on it we can look at real quick here. It looks like you have, I'm gonna hold those up just like so, and you can kind of read them yourself to see like and what you don't like about it. We're gonna do an actual sound test, so me telling you what everything is, it's kind of irrelevant when you're going to hear it, and you can make a decision. You're going to see what the settings are and everything. That's the board, but we're going to see what we get underneath it first, which you do get a USB Type C to Type A or Type C. You get a little dust cover for the cable itself, and then you can see if you want to run it USB-C or USB Type A, you can. You have both cables for that, so that's nice they send that. And then most days they're kind of doing that. It's just normal. So take that for what it is. They do look like you get an aux cable. Now this is just for sound coming in. It's not sound going out. It doesn't look like, because you don't have 3 lines on it. So just take that for there, or four post. So, you know, we might have to use a different cable, especially running this box. So we'll test it, but I'm pretty certain we will have to. So that's it for that. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to hook everything up real quick. I'm going to run it straight to my computer. I'm going to hook the mic up, and we'll see what it sounds like. Okay, before I go and hook everything up, I figure I'd only hook one cable up, but I wanted to show you the back of this. There's no point of showing you the back of this after I hook it up, because it's going to be harder with another cable right here. So right here, you do have a switch. This is your RGB light, FYI, right here. And then right here is a switch for PS4 and PC. I assume this works with PS5 too. I saw there was it said online PS5. Headphone. You do have a headphone port right here. You can't see it. Now you can see it. You have an aux in, and then you have another headset for this right here. And then you have dynamic and condenser, which means phantom power, I'm assuming. I had to look it up because it was confusing me. You usually just have a phantom power. So yes, if you want to use phantom power on this board, you would switch it over to condenser, and then you would also hit the phantom power. That's literally right here. Don't do this on a regular mic though, because if you do, you're gonna destroy it. In any case, yeah, that's it. You got XLR port right here on the back. So all that being said, now I'm gonna hook it up and see. Yo, hey, listen. So I set up a new setup where I had overhead and another camera, and I was supposed to switch back and forth, but it didn't record right. So when you see the overhead shot you're about to see, there's supposed to be more shots, but there's not. It didn't work, and I'm not going to re-record the video because you got the main points of the video because of everything. It's just to show me. So when I close out and stuff, it sounds like I'm talking to the camera anyways, and I am looking at the camera that you don't see because, anyways, you get the idea. So in any case, I just want to throw that in there just in case you wanted to comment below. You can still comment below and say I look ridiculous with a beanie on living in Florida in the summertime. Moving on.
I am a cop, and you will respect my authority.
I have the audio just so we can see. I'll show you here in a second. Let's start with the RGB, which is the button right here. As you can see, you have the RGB up top right there, and then you do have a little strip right here too. So while you're looking at it and gaming and stuff, you can switch the RGB around to different colors and stuff like that. As you can see here, that's doing different things. You know, pick your flavor pretty much. This is kind of one of those things is, you know, if you like RGB, you like it. If you don't, then you might not like it. There's a bunch of different ones to pick from. You see the white button right here staying on. It's because I have mic monitoring on, actually. If I turn it off, it'll go back to the thing. I didn't want to have that on just so I can hear myself throughout the entire video. There's no delay or anything like that, by the way. I believe if you hold the button back here, it should turn the RGB lights off completely. And you do see the gauges are working right here perfectly fine as well. So now we've looked at the RGB lights. Let's turn on everything back on and then we'll go from there, light-wise anyways. Okay, one more light. Boom. Now we're cooking with grease. We're gonna turn the RGBs. We'll leave them off. There's no reason to have them on. All right, so let's move on to what we have here. We do have game and chat mix right here, as you can see. Now, whatever way you go, you can turn up your chat, and you see you have a physical button here. That way, if you're playing the game through here, you can kind of control it that way. It's pretty nice, actually, to be completely honest with you. I'm not sure if it was going down or not on the actual OBS. It doesn't look like it is. Maybe. No, everything's the same, so we're good there. You do get the output right here. Now, this is going to be for audio coming into the mixer itself. I did test this out before hitting record again on here. Everything worked perfectly fine. I was able to get audio from like YouTube videos and stuff, gaming, whatever you want to play through your PC. If you want to hook a headset up through the headphone and hit this to turn it on, you're going to be good to go. You're going to be able to hear everything. I don't even know if you had to have that on, to be 100% honest with you. Let me test. Might as well test it. No, you do not have to have mic monitoring on to have that on. It's just going to be the output. You turn it down, it gets lower, of course. And if you press it in, you see you get a mute button right there as well. I am peaking a little bit, I will say, it seems like, from time to time. So that might just be because I'm hitting buttons or something like that. I will bump the volume so slightly down. Just exactly what it sounds like going into your headset and stuff like that. You have your mic here. This is going to be for your game. As you see it turn red, I was wondering that when I first initially pulled this out of the box. I was worried they didn't have a mute button, and it was one thing that killed me on their last mixer that they did. It was a really good little mixer, especially for the price point, but I was like, man, I want a mute button. Like, we want a mute button so we can tap mute and a heartbeat, because if your mama runs downstairs screaming at you, you don't want to be embarrassed on your stream with your 3 viewers watching. If you're lucky, that would be me. Moving on.
Le who? The her.
I will say, for the 50 dB, I am watching my OBS meter, and it is constantly going into the red, which is actually good. It means I can turn down the volume a little bit. I am at a good distance from this mic, so I'm probably closer to the 75% mark now. I don't think I have any filters on. Let me double check that just real quick here, just to make sure we don't have no filters on for the gain, or yeah, we have no filters on. So this is pushing this mic really well. I have the Rodecaster, and the Tank 1 wasn't pushing this strong with the Rodecaster. I don't understand that. Like, that's weird to me, because the Rodecaster does 60 dB, or it's a 55. The Rodecaster Pro 1, I think that's 55 or something like that. So anyways, this is pushing pretty good, it seems like. So that's a good sign. I like it. Moving on. Okay, so aux in is going to be anything you want to hook up to the back of here for your aux in cable, and you will literally have control over it right here as well. So if you want to hook up a phone up with a 3.5 to USB-C or something like that, you'll be able to do that. The no Bluetooth on this device itself, I don't see a Bluetooth button anyways. I didn't read anything about Bluetooth, so I'm assuming there's no Bluetooth on the device itself. So take that for what it's worth. I do want to keep my mic on just to make sure I'm not freaking blowing out, because this board, I'm like surprised on how high it's getting. In any case, the aux port right here does what it does, have a mute on it as well, as you can see there. So I'm super happy that every output here is most of them have mute. This is the only one that doesn't have a mute, which is fine, because this is just for your gaming anyways, chat to game mix ratio. Let's move on to some of the cooler things on the board itself. We're gonna start with the voice changer. Everybody likes voice changers on here. We're gonna do a live demo of it to see what it sounds like coming through OBS. We're gonna start with the auto-tuner. So you should hear me auto-tune right now super loud and clear. And we're gonna go to the elder, which is the very
low voice. Yes, that's very elderly. Why do they gotta make the elder voice? Like, because I have a low voice, I'm an old man?
Okay, so we're on. I ran out of space, so I stopped recording when I was on the monster. I'm just glad I heard and realized it before I got too much further in the video. That would have sucked. In any case, this is what it sounds like. You're talking to a megaphone.
Every time, I absolutely love this, by the way. I sound like one of the chipmunks, to be completely honest with you. But, you know, I could probably do a whole video on this. Hear me out. Hear me out. Should my next controller review be in the entire video talking just like this? Or do you think you guys would just click off the video because you're getting sick and tired of what I sound like right now? Oh, I am blowing the crap out of this mic. Holy mo. Anyways, moving on to the
Female voice. Wow, this is a female? I mean, I would be an ugly female, let's be real. So, yeah, on.
I sound like well, excuse me for putting a little bit of bass in my voice. This is what a male sounds like? What if I wanted to sound a little bit more less bass? I already got a lot of bass in my voice, and here we are putting more bass in my voice. So if you're 12 years old and you haven't hit puberty yet, and you want to sound like you're a man in Call of Duty doing 360 no-scopes from your mother's basement with a Cronus Max, this is the board for you. Moving on.
And then to turn it off, you would just hold the button down like that. So those are the things. Those are pretty cool. I mean, people call them gimmicky and stuff like that. I would have fun with them. I don't know how often I would use them or not, but they're fun. Moving on. My monitoring's right here. It's on and off. It's simple as that. So you see the white light on, it's on, and you see it on, it's on. Phantom power, 48 volts. You would turn the button to condenser in the back, and then you would hit this button here. This does not take phantom power, so we're not going to hit that just because we don't want to get in any kind of trouble there. You do have 7.1 surround sound. Is it true 7.1? I don't know. I'm just going to be completely honest. I don't know. I can tell you when I turn it on, I hear a difference. It could just be them amplifying things to make it sound like it's 7.1. I'm not 100% honest. I don't know how to test that kind of stuff, to be completely honest with you. It just sounds okay. Sounds better to me. So take it for what it's worth. You do have EQ here. I went through and played with EQ. You do have a different style in each EQ mode. I would say that your gaming, it seems like they did bring up the bass a little bit so you can hear footsteps and stuff like that in the gaming. And then your music and your videos kind of like music's more mid, it seems like, so you can hear more of the instruments and stuff like that. In the movies, it did kind of probably amplify everything a little bit. I'm not 100%. It did sound different every time I switched over. So you do have a different EQ mode throughout it versus it being off itself. And then you do have custom pads. The custom pads are, well, what they are. You control something, you put something here. So for example, if I hold it, I'm doing this on the fly, by the way. Yeah. So what you'll do, custom A, we would hold it, and once it starts flashing, now it's recording into it. Now, I would assume we'll test the other ones for the computer, but you should be able to set all these up to anything that goes into the board itself. And then once I'm done recording, you unhold it, which is nice. I really like that. I just hold it. Once it blinks and I'm done, I unhold it. So, and once it starts flashing, now it's recording into it. Now, I would assume we'll test the other ones for the computer, but you should be able to. And then I really like that I can stop this starts whenever I want. And it's pretty much instant. So that's nice. The buttons are like, it takes a little bit to press them in. I mean, you see me kind of press in there and they're not going in. But once you just firmly press every time you go to press it, and you'll be perfectly fine. Let's test it and see if it works for recording into. I'm not even going to let you hear it. I'm just going to like play it after I do it if it works. Let me know in the comments if you know what I'm about to do for sound wise. I'm curious before I play it. Okay, so I just did a recording into the board itself. We're going to hit the button here. Let's see if you were right on what I chose for the sound.
Ting tang, walla walla bing bang. Ooh ee, ooh ah, ting tang, walla walla bing bang.
Okay, so was you right or wrong? I don't know. I will tell you, when I recorded from the PC to there was a slight delay. I don't know if it's just me not getting the timing right or something like that. So remember that doing that, you might have to maybe press it a little later. I'm not 100% positive there, but you see it when I press it, I immediately pressed it on the computer when so I don't know. It could have just been me a thing. I'm just throwing that out there. So it does work like that. You can, whatever you record into the board itself, mic or PC or anything really, you can do that. So if you want to set these up for customization, for trolling and stuff like that. Okay, I did set some up to just kind of do it, give you an idea of what you can do with the board itself and stuff. I'm just literally having some fun here while I play with the board and stuff. So these are some customizations I did, and see if you like them.
Boom. Headshot. Double kill.
Sure.
Frenzy kill.
You couldn't get away from the baby voice, could you? Anyways, that's what you get on the board itself. As you can see, there's a lot of customization and stuff you can do here. Again, you can run everything through here. You just can be a one-stop station for everything you need. At the time of recording this, actually, the board was on sale. It's for $64.99. So does it look like a board that you would probably get behind? Do you think it's worth the money value that they're asking for? It's $65 right now. It's $80 normally retail price. If you'd like to check any of the links out below, it definitely supports your boy here, putting these content out free and trying to become a superstar on YouTube. By the way, since I don't ever do this, I am like less than 2,000 subscribers away from 10,000. I've been doing content. I get there's so many of you that don't subscribe that watch every one of my videos. Hit the subscribe button and help your boy out. I literally get nothing but from it. Like, I don't get paid or anything like that. It's literally just a goal of mine to hit 10,000 and then 20 and eventually 100,000. Like, my main goal for this channel is 100,000. So take that's for what it's worth. In any case, I appreciate you. I hope to see you guys next time. Let me test this on the Xbox before I close out the video because I almost forgot to do that. My dog is just like sitting back there staring at me. It's kind of awkward. Okay, so does it work on Xbox or not? That didn't record either, evidently. It did work on Xbox. I just came out of the headphone port on the back of the board into the controller, the splitter, like I have done it in the past with the past videos. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, then definitely check out this video over here. It'll show you exactly how to hook a mixer up to the Xbox so you can use an XLR mic like this on the Xbox or a FIFINE mic or any of those mics like that. Plenty of videos here to do all that. But in any case, I'll catch you guys in the next video. As always, peace and love.